Hey, welcome to another episode of Mayhem and Grace. I am your host, Amber Stevens. It is Friday afternoon, and I am just going to sit down in my office, talk with you, have an adult beverage. What is it, you ask? This is a kind of a no-no, but it is a Red Bull, peach Red Bull, and rum, spiced rum. Now, the reason why I say it's a no-no is because, well, I give my youngster a hard time about drinking energy drinks. But I saw he had one in the fridge, and as a mother, I got to test the safety. Not bad, not bad. Anyway, I was just hoping you'd join me tonight on this Friday evening in case some of you don't like to go out and wait in a long line to eat dinner and have a busy night out. Some of you just want to sit at home. This is for you. But tonight, and hopefully you can hear me okay, I do have a little Ray LaMontagne going on my Bluetooth speaker here. Put me in the mood. Because this conversation is going to be a toughie. I wanted to do a video tonight about the mayhem and grace of forgiveness. Yeah, told you it was a tough one. And when I say tough, it's not because I've heard it's tough or someone has told me it is. It's because I've went through it and I've chosen to do it when I didn't want to, when it was really hard, when the person I was choosing to forgive didn't deserve it. So that's why I want to talk to you tonight, because maybe they don't deserve it. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. My friends, I love forgiveness because of what it does for us and how it sets us free and lets our light shine, even in the midst of trauma and tragedy. One thing that forgiveness is not is an admission that what they did to you was okay, or that what happened is okay with you. That's not forgiveness. Oh no. Sometimes what happened to us is flat out wrong. Sometimes it's black and white. It's not okay. It's not fair. And it hurts. And it rewires our brain, the trauma and the pain. It can really have a lasting impact on who we are, who we think we are anyway. And when we hold on to those traumas and those pains and those bad memories and insults or bad circumstances that happen to us, those terrifying moments that rewrite our history, it endangers us of ever being free, right? It's kind of like when we hold on to our hatred and our anger, it's like locking ourselves in a prison cell, hoping that the other person pays the price. And boy, do I know about that. I do know about that. And I have thought that and wished that for the people that have harmed me many times. When I was in the middle of my pain, I couldn't see anything else. I didn't want to see it another way, you know? But as the decades wore by, and I realized what that pain of unforgiveness for those people that hurt me terribly, terribly, and I'm not just talking about little things. I'm talking about abuse. I'm talking about rape. I'm talking about tough stuff that I didn't think I could ever forgive. I didn't think I ever wanted to forgive those people. But after decades of carrying that pain, I realized it was myself that was put in a prison cell, because that anger, it just grew and laced on and attached onto everything in my life. How I saw people, how I saw love, how I saw relationships, how I saw sex. Everything damaging about it, about those times in my life, clung to me like I can't even explain it. If you've been through it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a dark cloud over your soul, your whole life. Well, at least while you're, going through it, in the middle of it. And what forgiveness does is it's like, oh, how do I explain this? Let's see. Okay, hold on. I got an idea. See if I can't burn myself here. See this? Let me turn around so you don't have to look at the ugly label. You see this candle? You see this light in this wick? When we decide to forgive, it's kind of like lighting a candle. We light the wick and suddenly there's light and there's comfort in that light. And there's just an ease. There's something about it that puts our minds at ease when we light candles in a room and we have a candlelight dinner, or, I don't know about you, but if you ever experienced a power outage and we light candles, there's just something so peaceful about it. And forgiveness is kind of like that. We light that wick of forgiveness and suddenly there's a comforting light on the inside. And it has nothing to do with the person who hurt us. It has nothing to do with saying, what they did was right or it was okay. It has everything to do from releasing ourselves from the trauma. And sometimes when we go to forgive, we expect an apology in return. And I'm here to tell you, most of the time we don't get that apology. And you don't need the apology to forgive. Because that's not what forgiveness requires. It requires a release from us. And it is the toughest thing to do. Trust me. And we can't do it until we're ready. We can't. We can try. We can say, oh, I forgive them. And I'm going to set this right here. We can try. And until we're truly ready, and you'll know when that moment is, the moment that you're exhausted and you're tired of carrying around the anger because it's poisoning all other aspects of your life. Well, and it feels like mayhem on the inside of us. It feels like a storm brewing because we want to be released of it, but yet we've allowed that pain and that trauma to define us in so many ways that if we forgive, if we choose joy and to continue to live and look for good and look for grace and hope in our future, that it has so much power. If we can just find the strength through God, by grace, to realize that forgiveness is, wow, it's the keys to the cell that we're hiding in. And I'm going to tell you, whoever hurt you, they're probably just carrying on with life. They're not thinking of you, sadly. Maybe they're remorseful, maybe they're not. But you can forgive them in here and in here. And you never even have to tell them. It's none of their business. This is your healing. This is for you. This is so you can feel lighter and shine and let that candle burn on the inside of you and carry on with your life. Because I'll tell you what it's not worth. The pain they caused is never worth the rest of your life. It's not. That's giving them so much more power than they ever deserved. They don't deserve anything. But what I'm saying is, when we stay in that anger and rage and bitterness, they're taking more from you than what they did originally. They're continuing to take and take and take until you're completely empty. And folks, I've been there. I've been there. I've had to forgive numerous people in my life, family members even, that never said they were sorry, that never apologized, that never acknowledged what they did was wrong. And I still chose to forgive. Whether or not they know, that's one of them does, one of them doesn't. But that's neither here nor there. It was for me. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad Jesus helped me find the strength to just let go and learn who I was without the pain, without the bitterness. I was a whole new person. And I think sometimes we can let that pain, it becomes a mask over who we really are and who God made us to be. And as your sister in Christ, I want you to be free to be who you truly are. Pain and scars and ashes and all, because we are beautiful. God made you beautiful. And I want forgiveness for you just as bad as I wanted it for myself. But you have to want it too. And I pray that you can talk to Jesus tonight or today, whenever you're, listening to this. If there's someone in your life or something in your life you want to forgive, I'm going to encourage you to do that with all my heart, because you are on the precipice of freedom and peace. And isn't it time? Isn't it time? You've been carrying it so long. Isn't it time to set it down, see who you really are, and just keep walking? And to accept the peace inside of yourself for you, for no one else but for you. That's what I want for you, my friends. So take heart. Get on your knees. Pray to the Lord for some help on this matter, because I am telling you, it is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. It is the best thing you can do for your mind. It is the best thing you can do for your spirit, for your health. I mean, your physical health. I don't know about you, but pain can cause physical symptoms in our life. I have autoimmune disease, and I'll tell you, whenever I'm really stressed, whenever I am just overwhelmed, my body will attack me. I mean, that's just the way of it. And so I've had to learn through, trial and error of how long I'm willing to hold on to bitterness and anger, because it does me no good. It doesn't do any of us any good. It serves a purpose of stealing and destroying and killing our joy. So I want you to be free. Again, I think that is the most important thing I can tell you about forgiveness, is it sets you free. And you're only going to be able to do it with the help of Jesus, because we can't, at least I couldn't do it in my own strength. I had to have help, and he's there for us, because that's one thing he wants us to do, because he has forgiven us. And forgiveness is a big deal with him, and he's going to empower you to do it. He'll do it. He'll help you. So that's all I wanted to say for tonight on this episode of Mayhem and Grace. That even when it feels like mayhem to forgive, we've got grace to help us through it. I love you. Jesus loves you. Do me a favor. Love yourself a little and just choose to forgive. You'll be better off for it, I promise. Good night.